Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of OneMicNite, the podcast that brings you stories of artists and people on their journey, helping to guide, answer questions, and motivate you in the business. Now, if you haven't already, first of all, I want to welcome all the new people who are watching for the first time. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, please make sure you ring the bell because you never know when I'm going to drop another episode. We do the live chat every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hop on into the YouTube and watch and join in the conversation. Today, I'm very, very excited. I have two incredible guests. One is Cristy Reynoso. The other one is Amira Mustapha. And they are the writers and producers of 30s, the series. Welcome to the show, you guys. How you doing?
Thank you.
We're good. We're excited to be here.
Good. Listen, I have questions. First question, and it goes to you, Amira. Who is Amira Mustapha? And then Cristy, you too.
Go ahead, Amira.
So, I am Amira Mustapha. I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. My family is from Ghana, and I'm a producer, one of the producers of hashtag 30s writer, actor. I also founded a nonprofit that's Bronx-based. It's called Art Defined Productions, and we offer opportunities to literary and performing artists living in underserved communities. I do tech work. I I do a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Multi-talented. That's great. Who is Cristy Reynoso?
I am Cristy Reynoso. Hi guys. Thank you for having me. I'm Dominican. I was raised here in the Bronx, New York, the boogie down Bronx. I'm a producer. I am a writer, I can say now. A actor. Yeah, and I've been working in theater for 15 years now. Time flies. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Ever since college, we started this journey in college. Me and Amir actually met when in high school. So we've known each other for like 20 years. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and we started, yeah. So we kind of got this friendship, and through this friendship we started theater together, and like tech. I've done stage management as well.
So did you
That's the
both
only thing I haven't.
study theater in college? Theater
Yeah.
and film?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we
Okay.
didn't start there, but we ended up there.
What do you mean? You started off in something else?
Yes. Psychology is
Psychology.
what I went
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Listen,
But
go ahead. That's the journey that we all have. I started out pre-med.
okay, yours is worse. You win.
Right?
Sorry, I'm gonna go away now.
That's what I was going to say. When did you know that
Yeah,
this is
like
what
so
you
it
want
was
to do?
psychology.
When did you know this is what you wanted to do, to be an artist? Or were you doing art all along?
I've always been interested in it. I didn't go to an arts high school, but I always kind of navigated to that area. I was always in shows, but I didn't think it was something you can do realistically until college. Um, and I took more classes, and it's still like very early on when I was doing this in college. I thought it was very kind of ethereal, like I'm just doing this for fun. But I kind of like, oh, this could be real, and I just kind of kept going and going. By the time I knew I got the bug and I was stuck, and it's just that's my life now. So yeah, I graduated, and I've been blessed that I've been able to continue in this field, doing this work and making a
Mhm.
living from it. So
Absolutely. Cristy, what about you? Did you think that this was a real opportunity, a real career goal for you along the way?
No. No, when I was little, I would watch novelas, and Thalia was like my girl. I'm like, oh, I want to be like her. I want to be like, but I was super shy. I've always been really shy, so it wasn't something I actually thought that I could do just because of that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
always thought like if you're an artist, you have to be so charismatic, and like you have to talk a lot, and you can't be shy. You can't be in your shell. You know what I mean? So that's kind of almost what stopped me for so long. And in college, Amira took an acting class, and then I took an acting class. We did like a summer works in college where we got to stage manage a theater show. And like we just fell in love with the environment and the people, and like the way theater works and every aspect of it, from behind the scenes to being in front of the scenes. And that's how it started, really. But like one class, and we just like kept taking other classes and kept being in the environment and just falling in love with it. And I think we always loved it deep down, you know, because we always gravitated towards it. But we actually got to do it, you know what I mean, and like and be in there. So that's where it really started, you know, to be like real, I guess you can say. Yeah.
How important do you think it is for people to have role models or people that they see, diversity, inclusion? Was that a factor as to why you didn't think maybe it was a real career for you?
Extremely
Yeah.
important. Yeah. Like I think that's growing up. I just didn't see. I thought there was the people that did it. That was those people. And I just, seeing people of color, especially back in the 90s, watching shows, it was like there was shows here and there, but it was like black pepper or like just kind of a seasoning. Like, okay, we're just gonna add these little, but it wasn't like the regular. And so I thought you had to be special to have that. So yes, I think it is very important to have that representation in the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. That's what, like with our show too, like we have so many different characters and like different people get to see that and get inspired by it, you know, like, oh, this person's like me. I can maybe do it too, you know what I mean? So that's exciting.
How has your journey changed along the way from being an actor to writing and producing? Is that, I mean, what made you do that? What made you step into those shoes?
So, this particular writing has always been, I respect writers so much because it's so hard.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, it like there's some writers that are always just writing, and like, how do you have so much in like imagination in your head? But for me, I've always been like acting, and then right before the pandemic happened, me and Amira had an idea. We got together. We She came over to my house and we kind of wrote like half of an episode, like the first early draft of an episode of what we kind of wanted to
how did
do.
that, that's what I want to know. How did that come about? What sparked the two of you getting together to say, let's give this a try? Because you know what I mean? Like, we journey as
Yeah.
artists. First, we want to be in front of the camera, we're actors, or we want to be on stage. And then what was the thing that sparked you two to say, let me get my little pen out or computer out and write a little bit?
Uh, I'll go. So I feel like we've known each other since high school, as you said,
Mhm.
and throughout high school we would like make up these scenarios because we're nuts like that. We would just like make up these stories and kind of pretend like, okay, if somebody was watching this from the outside, this is before we had any kind of theater training or like other than just being in a school show. We would be like, okay, so if somebody was watching us, what character would I be? And like, what would this scene or this thing that just happened today, it's craziness, what would it be? Like, what do you think the audience would think about this? So we kind of always had this imaginative way of thinking and kind of creating scenes. And so as we got older, we kind of kept doing it in different, ways with the different things that happens as you get older in your 20s, in your 30s. And so, yeah, I'm not. Do you remember what triggered the 30? I mean, this is something that always comes up, this conversation, this way of seeing life. But do you know what made us like, let's do this. Let's sit down and I
It
think it was
might
just after
be
a
like
night out, right? Like we went out with a friend and we came, we are like, let's
it might be like one of those things where you talk about it so much that it's finally like, why don't we do it? You know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Like, it was so spontaneous, but not really because it's been brewing for so many years. I feel
Right.
like once we said, let's go, like, we just like, it just poured out. Well, at least the first episode did. And
So
then,
you started it sort of over the pandemic, right? Is that what you said?
so before, it was
So a little
in
bit
January.
before. Okay.
Yeah, it was before the pandemic. And then when the pandemic happened, we had so much time, we were actually able to do and write the rest of the series. Because I don't know what would have happened if the pandemic
Right.
didn't happen. Like, I don't know if we would have been
Exactly.
able to finish. We have 9 episodes that's written and shot. I don't know if, like, because we're really busy, so I don't know if we would have been able, maybe we would have, but not as fast. And even this process hasn't been fast, but throughout the span of the year, we were able to finish the 9 episodes, and then we just shot the series early this year, and now we've been editing like everything ourselves because we've been learning. You know what I mean? That's not something that we.
I love this. This is what I talk about because I feel like the pandemic was the best and the worst of times. We had so many deaths, so much sickness, and health problems. But it also gave us a chance to pause, to stop. And we as artists, we as creatives, content creators, had a chance to actually say, let me try something else. Or even people who always had a passion for something because they were out of work, they got a chance to do something else. Maybe you're an entrepreneur now. Maybe you have a store now, online store, or you started a business. So it actually gave us time to sit and think and pull some ideas together and make some things happen, make some changes happen.
No, that's so true.
Yeah,
A lot of our friends have businesses now
right.
that started from the pandemic, like in your walls. What do you do when you are in your house and like you can really think about what you want to do? And
Yeah,
a lot of people did that, like they went that route, you know what I mean? And
they actually did it.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's beautiful to see like people following their hearts and not, and it's hard to do because you have to worry about bills and all this stuff, and that kind of, you know, shifts you. But like in that time, you were able to like, or at least some people were able to focus
to
on.
focus. And I think
Yeah,
that's another thing too, is we always have, like, the information that we need is always out there, but we actually had time to execute all the information that we had. And so here we stand. Now you guys got a web series, and that's beautiful. You
exactly.
know
And
what I
that's
mean?
another thing because
Yeah.
theater was shut down.
Theater was
So like
shut down.
we were always doing theater. So theater was shut down. So what was the safest thing in the arts that we could do? Film.
Hmm.
Like we actually did a couple of short films during the pandemic when we were home, and then as we were doing that, we were writing the web series. And then once we were finished with that, we did drafts and drafts and drafts, and we did reading, and then we're like, okay, like we have the scripts, let's shoot it, because if we keep waiting, it's never gonna get done, you know what I mean?
Say
So
that
I was like,
again.
let's
Say
do
that
it.
again,
Yeah,
please,
because we
for
did so much
everyone.
work. Yeah,
Yeah,
like we have to shoot it. Like even
we
if
have to.
we don't know what we're doing, let's Google, let's search, let's put it together, and we've done that. I'm very proud of that because it's hard. It was a lot of work, and we were saying this before. Like it was a team of 4 or 5 of us doing everything, like from writing, directing, sound, light, casting, emails, props, everything. It was like 5 of us. So like when Amira was in a scene, I was doing like holding the sound behind somewhere, and like when it's vice versa, and it was a lot of work.
It's a
But
lot of work.
yeah,
I
and
love
then
that though.
even
But you,
like editing, yeah,
yeah, you said that. You just said it because we were forced to learn some other things. So now you know how to edit. Now you know how to shoot. Now you know how to do a few graphics. Now you know how to do. Your writer, your producer. You are a one person team. You know a lot of things, a little bit about a lot of things. And I think that's a wonderful thing. My resolution for 2022 was to learn as much as possible. So I'm going through 2022 with eyes wide open, and I ask questions. Or like you said, I search. I go through the Google and I search. If I want to know something, I search for it. I find the answer, you know?
and that's awesome because now in this time you can, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
when we were younger, it was harder. We have
It
to
was,
like go to the library and go get a book, or like like now it's in your hands. Like take your phone and like you can get there with information that's everywhere around us.
exactly. Let's talk about the series. What's the series about?
So you always wanted to be an actor?
Have cramps. If there aren't any men who will give me a baby, my back is throbbing. And who the hell has seen this video? We're safe again? Ow! Sucks to be 30.
Amira, let us know.
Hi. It's about so #30s is about two young women. They're recently entering their 30s and just realizing their life is not exactly where they want it to be. There's so much that they kind of had goals for, and it's just not it. They're not doing that. So it's a venture in trying to do what we want to do in life. So it's this female, the two females is, I play one character, Imani Hassan,
Mhm.
and then Christy plays the other, Sandrina Ventura. I've never said, we call her Sandy in the show. So, and just, trying to get through all of these things, trying to reach these goals with all the, I guess, blocks, red tape, with stuff that comes in the way because you're older and life happens and all that difficulty. But
Any parallel to
showcase
real life?
Yeah. Well, well, a lot of it is similar. Like, I mean, do we talk about the episodes? Can we do that? I
Yeah,
don't know if we
yeah,
should.
yeah.
Like the first episode, which I thought like should is crucial. We talk about trying to schedule, like doing your schedule to begin, like with friends nowadays. In your 30s is so much more complicated than it was in your 20s as a teen. Like I feel like I had endless time. In your 30s is so difficult. So it's pretty much us like, okay, trying to figure out how we gonna like get together just to see friends, just to like, relieve stress. That in itself is like an issue. So we have like a little part that we talk about that and kind of get into that and try to figure that out. So yeah, it's stories like that, and just kind of watching these two women get through life.
Yeah.
Navigate
Yeah,
through life.
specifically for my character, she starts the journey of motherhood and how like people get judged if they don't do it in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like if you're not married and like have a house by 30 and have kids by 30, you know what I mean? Like that. So thankfully society's changing, and it's more progressive. But that's what my character is going through. And Amira's character, she wants to be an actor, but she's behind the scenes in the show. So her trying to get in front of the stage and me trying to get, become potentially a mom throughout the show. Yeah. And then there's like a lot of fun characters on the side that come up, and yeah, I'm very excited for people to see it.
That's good. What do you want us to know about the show? What's a takeaway from the whole series? You said you have how many episodes?
9.
About 9.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway? Why should we watch it?
Well, I think one of the main themes of the show is like life doesn't end at 30. You know what I mean? Like it's just beginning, and it's never
Amen.
too late to try to start something new. Um, some people think they're stuck because they decided when they were 18 what they wanted to do when they're like 35, 40, and they think it's over. It's not. You can start. I've heard so many stories of people starting over at 40, and like by the time they get to it, you know what I mean? Later in life, sometimes you're not ready when you start younger, you know what I mean? You do it when you're ready, and it doesn't matter the age. So that's something big that I think the show says.
Yeah, I think that's the core of it. I was gonna say connect, like I feel like having those discussions be something that people feel comfortable to talk about and realizing they're not alone. Because yeah, so often that's another reason why we actually did this. Just talking to our friends and realizing stuff that's happening to us, our body, our lives is not just us. So being able to kind of create that discussion, that connection with other people, I think is so important, especially for growth, even to get to the next level in life.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you. And I think it goes back to what I was asking earlier, about having role models and seeing other people on screen and, tackling problems and how you guys manage to tackle these problems, or at least put it out there so people can ask questions or find a similarity or find, some sort of common thread that they can relate to too.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like a lot of people also they don't know where to start sometimes, especially like in theater. And like something that we've done is just use our resources, like if you have friends, like get your group together and start bouncing ideas with projects, like right now you could film a short on a phone, you know what I mean? And it could look really good. Like it doesn't you don't have to like think, oh, it has to be so the budget has to be crazy, or we need to have all these things. Get whoever you have together and you can make things happen, if you
Absolutely. Yeah.
wanted it.
It's
Yeah.
about the story. It actually is about the story. You're absolutely right. You can shoot it on your phone, and if you have you have good content, that's what resonates with people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are some of the people that you guys worked with? You said there were some friends. You want to shout out some people or
Yeah.
let them know we got to support each other, in this venture.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my husband. He's been a big, big, major help. He's a writer. He's amazing, and like he helped us like shape the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
where's the theme? Where's this going? Like, where's this? Where's the end of it? Where's the beginning per episode? My sister Angela, she you met her. She was on One Act of Kindness with me at the chain.
Oh yeah.
She's in the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, she's
Okay.
in the show. She's been editing the whole. She's the lead editor. She's been amazing, learning herself because she didn't know the program that we were using. So she's been like googling and like editing, and She's been amazing. Jason Westby, who plays Amira's brother, he's been great. He was there for the production and helping us shoot. Rosemary De La Rosa too. She was script supervisor. Our parents, they were catering. They were like catering the show.
Parents were
You know?
catering the good
Yes.
food.
Oh, they had like long days. They cooked for us. You know.
I love that.
Lehman Stages, thank you so much for letting us use your spaces. The Bronx for the inspiration.
Yeah.
Definitely got inspired. Amira, do you have?
Yeah, I feel like it was a family affair. I have 3 younger brothers. I'm the oldest, and they were all in it. The family, you know, friends, a lot of the alumni, current students at Lehman, they were in it. Yeah, it was a nice family affair with
I like that.
close and just connecting. Even the multimedia center at Lehman, just kind of having them come in, taking pictures and stuff. Like there was this always like kind of just pulling from the talents that we have within the Bronx in our network. So it was kind of even fun to do that, working with people that maybe we haven't worked with them in that capacity before. That's cool.
It's good to hear. And this is, again, goes back to what I was saying, to have people even behind the scenes who are people of color, and, you know, just knowing that there are other jobs that we can do outside of being in front of the camera. You know, we're line producers, we're, you know, everything, writers, everything. And this is a beautiful thing about what you guys have created along with this story, you know. I want to talk about the technical part of it. What kind of, did you encounter any problems in the actual filming of it? Because I know a lot of times when we film, we have things backed out and it doesn't really go the way we planned.
Yes, there was a lot of issues. There was a lot of issues. Her husband, in addition to Juan Ramirez, in addition to helping with the writing, did a lot of the videoing as well. He's also acting in the show, but he did a lot of the videoing and just kind of making sure that we're keeping true to the storyboard that we did beforehand. And the technical part. So we're all there. Depending on who's on the scene, we have like our little lights trying to like, okay, so are they being seen? Kind of getting the okay, taking our phone, seeing how it's gonna look, using the camera. At one point, the camera decided that it didn't want to charge anymore. Like, so that was a whole issue. We're shooting outside, meaning that we need some battery because there's no power outside. And yeah, it just doesn't want to come on. We charged the battery. We had extra batteries. Like the cost that we had to just keep like, just put it like, like, what is it? Like the invisible like cost I would not expect. And still, like, it was random things, but you know, it was a part. That's kind of what makes this even more like special, more like incredible that we got through it with all of this. Because some things that would happen, it's just like, are you serious? Like, really? Right. So we're sitting in the car waiting for the car, like talking to the camera, like, just please, we need just work with us, man. Let's breathe. Like, let's just sit down and breathe. And we're doing this in January, February, so it's freezing outside. Freezing.
Very cold. Yeah.
Freezing.
Wow.
Amongst like sound is a monster. Oh my, I feel like that was the hardest, right? Like out of every aspect, sounds, even like in editing, like sometimes the sound will go off and we're like, why is it going off? Because then it sounds weird, you know. You want it to sound even, and it's like, oh my god. So that was during editing. Sound has been the biggest hurdle to get through, but you know, YouTube has helped.
I mean, even beforehand, the sound was like frustrating. I remember we'll do like a whole shot and then come back and realize that the mic died. So, you know, we had to do the whole thing again. Yeah. Or we'll shoot a whole thing, like the whole day, and then the shots go missing from the
Oh my god, we lost an episode. We
the missing episode.
Yes, we lost the whole episode, which was like the hardest episode for me and Amira. For some reason, I don't know why, Amira. I don't remember why, but it was so hard. We couldn't remember like the lines of this episode. We finally got through it. We spent the whole day shooting this, and then we could not find it was episode 4. We could not find.
No.
At like we only found like the beginning, the teaser that we shot, and we're like, where's the rest of the episode? Where's the rest of the episode? Like, we couldn't find it. So we reshot the episode, and then we found it. so
You got to be kidding me.
so we had two, positive thinking. We had two options to go with.
It was, and the funny thing is, because it was, our first venture in doing something like something to this capacity,
Mhm.
we had like a checks and balances kind of thing. So after we'd had a day of shooting, whether we were acting behind the scenes, whatever, often we were doing all three. We would sit down and say, okay, let's put everything on this save. We had like our little, save drives or whatever. Let's sit down, everybody see it's there. We did it. You see that? Okay, so there's like 3 people looking at it. We put it, it's uploaded, we see it, it's there. Okay, I'm gonna take it off the camera because we can't have it on the camera. So kind of doing all of that, and still
Right.
makes you go a little crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys, you have any newfound loves for what you do? Like any like editing or behind the camera or anything like that? Or you still
Oh
no?
yeah, I
Not
have a lot
really.
of respect. No, yeah.
He's like, no, I'm
No, I have so much respect for like cinematographers, for sound people,
Yeah.
the light crew, the camera, just holding the camera like for so long. That is hard. Like,
It's
do they
very
work
hard.
out? Like Amira, you remember that one time that you were holding it for like?
I was like shaking at one point. I'm like looking at Juan, like, how the heck do you do this? Like, what? Like, it's not like easy. And the camera's, it has some weight, but it's not even like the big ones, like
Right.
it was like just staying still. Like, I'm like as still as possible. And the thing is still shaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much respect for editors too. Oh my God, the amount of time that it takes to edit.
Thank you, Angela.
Yes, thank you, Angela, so much. Like 5 seconds is insane. And even coming up with graphics and design, like we wore so many hats, like holy moly. Respect
Yeah.
to everyone. Oh my God.
Did you guys have problems with the budgeting? Was the budget yeah.
Yeah. We had like no budget, and
Yeah.
I don't even know how much we spent, because we weren't expecting to spend anything, and like things just kept popping up, and we just spent it. Like, we probably should have a budget sheet, Amira, but
We did have one. Oh, sorry. We did have a budget sheet. It's just that, things come up.
Things come up, yeah.
Like the camera keeps dying. We need to get an external battery. So
the hard drives.
Hard drives. You just have to keep buying more and more hard drives, because you would think like, how many do we have all together?
Like
And I think huh?
More than 5, I think.
No, definitely. Oh no, you're talking about the hard drive. Yeah, we have to keep getting separate ones, but each one has like multiple terabytes, and
You don't realize how much memory you're using. Yeah.
I thought since it's a web series, it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
What's the advice you give to people who want to do a web series or shoot something on their own? He said, do it.
That's it.
Jump in, take the chance. Yeah.
No, that's one thing. Like we mentioned earlier, it's something that we kept talking about it, and like, oh, we should do this. Oh, this would be funny. Oh, this would be cool. But it didn't happen, so we actually did it. So put that pen to the paper. Just start. Put it out there. More so, talking is good, yes, but actually, like, start writing. It makes it more tangible. It makes it real. So start writing, putting it on paper, thinking, planning, as if, forget about the cost, forget about all that. Just write it out, like plan it out. Forget about all the other obstacles, because you'll get through it.
Yeah. And also put aside your self-doubt, because I feel like what makes some people go ahead is just like their kind of delusional confidence. You have to have some kind of crazy confidence,
Right.
that like pushes all that self-doubt aside, and you're able to just get a few steps ahead just based on that, because we're kind of our own worst enemies, and we stop ourselves from doing a lot because we care, and whatever other reason we put in our heads, like we're not
It's
good
the
enough.
fear.
Yeah,
It's
the fear.
fear
Ultimately,
factor.
it's the fear. Just
Yeah.
if you try to push that aside and think of like think about the story that you want to say, or that you want to put out there, a character you want to play, and think about that and that excitement. I feel like run with that, and try to forget about the fear, and you'll get you'll make it happen.
Yeah. One thing I found that helped with this process is we were very, like, we wore a lot of different hats. But with each process, we've tried our very best to be in it. So when we were in the beginning stages of like kind of structuring and creating those ideas, we're like, okay, let's just have these ideas. We're just gonna do these ideas. We're not gonna go crazy. And then it's like, okay, so we have these ideas. This is each episode. Okay, so now let's do the episodes. Let's write it out. Let's not think, specifics like, okay, location, it needs to be in this, like, oh, we don't have the money for that, or let's just write it out. Let's dream it out. And then once we finished all the stories, we got everything on paper, like we had the script, we went over it, did all that other stuff. Then we started kind of looking at it through like the producer lens. How
Yeah.
much, is that going to be? Do we have a space? Can we ask this person? So we started going about it that way. So we kind of allowed ourselves to isolate each step to allow us not to get overwhelmed, because you could easily get overwhelmed. And then when we could, it got complicated in the acting part, because then we were kind of like, script supervisors and, camera people, lighting person, actor. So it was kind of hard in that part. But when we were performing, like when we knew we were gonna act, we would try to, like, and we would, if we were backstage or behind the scenes, and for example, Christy was doing a scene, we would try to give her time to get in her actor mode and do what she needs to do. And the same thing with me. Like, so whoever was acting, we try to give that space so you can kind of shift from that other, like, oh, how's the lighting looking? Do I look like, doing all of that, and trusting the people behind the scene, trusting the people, your team, to do what's best for you. So you can feel free to give your best in your way. So I think it's important to kind of like isolate and dream while you're, in each piece, in each part that you're working on, if that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. That's a brilliant explanation. That's definitely valuable for everyone. Well, listen, guys, I want to talk a little bit about what else you guys do outside of the project, because the project sounds amazing. Now, Amira, I know you do some stuff with, you said earlier, with the Poetic Art Define. Is that what it's called? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Art Defined Productions. I
Mhm.
started it 2010. So it's about 12 years old now, my little baby.
Wow.
Calling it a baby still. We do monthly showcases, open mics at Lehman College. We have a lot of connections to Lehman. Lehman is where I work as well. I'm the director of production services there as well. And that's home. That's my where I got my degree for undergrad, master's. So it's home. But yeah, I do those. We do workshops, free workshops for the community, writing, like play, screenwriting, as well as poetry writing workshops. And yeah, it's free
Wow.
as of now, it's every weekend that we're doing it. So, and we've
I-
done like other things, like last year we put out our first anthology. So it's a collection of books. We did like a reading of it online, and we've done original shows in person. So we touch on a lot of these different areas.
I love that. That's great for the community. We definitely need more art, platforms for upcoming artists and established artists, and together, actually, to work together. That's
Yeah, that's a
beautiful.
big a
That's a
big
huge thing.
part of it. I feel like especially when you graduate, it's hard to kind of keep those connections sometimes, and you
Mhm.
lose kind of that drive because you're not seeing it around you. So that's a really big reason why I started it. I started like a little after graduating, just because I was like, we need this connection. I need it. We need it. So I felt that it needed to kind of bring people together, the professionals and the people starting up, just to have that people so they can pass along their knowledge. People can learn, like just creating that bridge. So
Absolutely. Christy, you and I met at the Chain Theater.
yeah.
Are you working on something else right now? You have something coming up, or what do you have brewing
No,
aside from this? No,
this has no,
this
this
is
has taken my entire, well, not, I can't even say that because I just did with Amira. She wrote actually a piece a few years ago, very close to her heart, about her dad, and it got into the Downtown Urban Arts Festival, and she
Mm,
got second place, and we both acted in it. And it also got into last year. Was it last year? My time was just like, woo. I think it was last year.
Yes.
It was in the New York Poets Cafe, and it was third place there. So we've been
Wow.
presenting that piece around for the past year, and so that was. I mean, is that the first time we acted together? Is it?
No,
No?
we acted in Juan's play. Red light. What I
Oh
mean,
my God! But that was like in college. That was like
years ago.
years ago. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Like outside of college, it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like super heavy piece.
Yeah.
I'm
Too many
so
years.
proud of her because she wrote it, she started it, and it's
Wow.
a very
The Downtown
cool
Urban
topic.
Theater Festival, was that this past year?
Yeah, when you did your piece,
Yeah, we
Marcus's
did.
piece.
Yeah, we were in there too. We were in I can't remember which one we did. Marcus wrote 2 plays that I was in. Marcus, we wrote
Oh,
one act at the Chain Theater, and I
yes.
think we won the Audience of Choice Award. And then the Downtown Urban Theater Fest, I can't remember if we did that one there or we did Eden there. I think it was,
Oh,
we did
I think
2.
you did yeah. You did that one
Did
at the
Eden.
do-off because I remember I was telling Marcus, I was like, I want to go, but I had rehearsals the night you guys went up. Mira, because I heard the piece. We were on the same night for the audience choice, and I heard it from behind the stage, and it was so heartfelt. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I gotta see it. And that's what I was telling y'all. Like I wanted to see it, but because we were up the week after, so we have rehearsal the day of. Yeah.
Well,
So that's so fun.
congratulations to you guys both in so many different ways. It's such a pleasure to talk to you too. Please tell everybody how we can get in touch with you.
Yes,
How
I
can we
have
find you?
Instagram. It's Emerald Dream 001D. I have a website, CristyReynoso.com. Our show has a website, #30.com.
You
And
can find it on on IG. If you follow our IG,
Okay.
you'll find all of that in the bio.
yeah, so Emerald Dream 00 has all the info, and then Amira, your information.
Amira, your info.
My info. So my IG is Aquarian Muse 19. Because I'm an Aquarius and I love it. And, Art Defined Productions. Well, the company artdefined.org is so it has all the information that we have there. There's information about me as well, my bio and all that fun stuff. And I think that's it. So Aquarian Muse 19.
Beautiful.
What is it, Amira? Aquarian
Muse?
Okay.
Aquarian, like Aquarian, like not Aquarius, Aquarian Muse, because I like to inspire. 19, because I started that stuff when I was 19. Yeah.
Okay. Let them know. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best. Hopefully, I'll have all the information down in the notes of the show. And then also, if you let me, we'll have a clip, we'll have your trailer along in this podcast episode for the viewing pleasure. Please, everybody, make sure you check out #30 the series. You can find them on IG at 30 the series. You can find Christy at Emerald Dream 00, correct? And you can find Amira at Aquarium Muse on IG. Make sure you hit them up and find out more about the series. That's right. I had the information here. I just wanted to
Aquarium Muse 19.
Aquarium Muse 19.
19. You forgot the 19. You're going to go somewhere else if you don't put the 19.
Not just a muse, but 19. Make sure you get the 19.
Yeah, Aquarium Muse 19.
Oh man, I thought I had it.
Now they're really not going to forget.
Thank you guys for joining me for this episode of OneMicNite. You can find me at Marcos Luis, MarcosLuis. Follow the show at OneMicNite. Coming soon, we have OneMicNite TV, where you'll find the other podcast, OneMicNite Talk. And we're launching the new content page because we got a streaming channel coming soon. So please check it out. We'll see you next time. This is OneMicNite Podcast. We're out.